The Russian night was falling slowly, as if to linger in the moment before the end. In his vast riverside mansion sat Lavrentiy Beria, the man who had once shaken the Soviet Union with a wink, the head of the secret police whose name no one dared utter aloud. But tonight, silence closed in on him like wolves on wounded prey. No one had entered the mansion for hours. The guards who had once bowed before him now stood with impassive faces. The doors that used to open before he even reached for the handle felt heavy, as if the iron itself refused to serve him. He felt that all of Moscow was turning its back on him. Since Stalin's death, everything had changed. Beria knew everyone's secrets. He knew who was afraid, who was lying, and who was greedy. He held power like a rope, pulling it with a merciless grip. But what he never considered was that the same rope could tighten around his neck. As he walked through the darkened hall, he muttered to himself, "I created security. I created fear. I built the state with my iron fist. How could someone like me fall?" But deep down, he could hear the footsteps of the end on the marble floor. The following morning, Beria was summoned to a closed meeting with the leadership. He entered the room with the confidence of a man accustomed to being at the center, failing to notice, or perhaps ignoring, the glances exchanged among those present. Khrushchev sat opposite him, a cold stare in his eyes. Beside him stood General Zhukov, who had never forgotten how Beria had tried to overthrow him years before. Khrushchev began, "Comrade Beria, we have serious matters to discuss." Beria smiled briefly. For a moment, he thought they wanted his advice, or perhaps they feared his decisions. But what he didn't expect was that the next words weren't a discussion, but a verdict. He betrayed the state, abused his position, and acted against the will of the party and the people. The soldiers' voices rose behind him. He didn't have time to understand how they had entered the room. He turned around in terror. He saw the muzzles of rifles pointed at him. For the first time in decades, Lavrentiy Beria felt afraid. He was dragged out of the room without being allowed a word. He was shouting, threatening, pleading, naming names, and revealing secrets.